So I had mentioned in an earlier video on weight loss drugs that I have a client in her early 60s who started a GLP-1 a few months ago. She lost 20 pounds. Look, she was thrilled. Her clothes fit differently. Everybody noticed. But then in one of our training sessions on a Tuesday, she couldn't finish a workout that she'd been doing for months. Every week she was getting weaker. She stopped wanting to come to the gym. The weights that she could lift 2 months ago suddenly seemed heavy. So the scale won't tell you what you're losing, and I couldn't tell her exactly what the ratio of fat to muscle was. Nobody could without having measured it before she started, but I could see something her bathroom scale couldn't. She was getting weaker. So how do you know if you're losing muscle along with this process? Well, the first warning sign is going to be that you stop wanting to work out. You're underfueled. There's not enough energy coming in from outside your body. Food is energy. If your appetite has dropped dramatically, your energy is going to drop with it. The second sign is going to be your performance steadily declines. The same weights start to feel heavier. You complete fewer repetitions. Getting out of your chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, it all starts to feel harder than it did before. Warning sign number 3 is that recovery gets worse. Your workouts tend to leave you unusually exhausted, and soreness seems to last longer. You feel as though you never fully recovered before you're already at the next session. Warning number 4 is you weigh less, but you function worse. Your clothing is looser and the scale is lower, but you don't feel stronger or more capable or more energetic. So how do you prepare for something nobody actually ever warned you about in the first place? Look, these drugs work. They are not the villain here. 12 to 20% body weight loss plus better blood sugar, real cardiovascular benefits. I'm not here to scare you off of them, but there is a consequence of rapid weight loss that many people are not really prepared for. Not every pound you lose is going to be body fat. When your calories drop sharply, your body draws from stored fat. But lean muscle tissue also gets lost along the way too, especially when protein intake is low and the muscles are not being challenged. You need to protect yourself. So when you eat less, and these drugs are going to make sure you do, your body knows it needs to get energy internally. After 50, you are already losing 1 to 2% of your muscle per year just from aging. It's called sarcopenia, and it's just the clock. And substantial weight loss, very low food intake, and no resistance training is going to bring the risk of losing valuable muscle and tissue much higher. So this isn't about the number on the scale. It's about what your muscle is doing for you. Muscle is what helps you rise from a chair, climb stairs, catch yourself when you stumble, carry groceries, and remain independent. It also supports bones and joint function, and it improves how well your body handles glucose. So you can lose 20 pounds and end up weaker than you were when you started. And that's the trap. So what is the fix? It's one number. My simple coaching target for my clients is up to about 1 gram per pound of their goal body weight of protein. One of the 2 biggest messages about this entire video is how important protein is and to making sure that you get your protein count. So before I get too far into the video, I wanted to take a moment and show you guys outside in the kitchen. In about 90 seconds, I'll just go ahead and speed up the video and show you what it looks like to get reasonably close to within 185 to 190 grams of protein. That happens to be my goal weight. So again, you could just be modifying it for whether you wanted to get to 120 or 130 or whatever your number is for your perfect goal weight. So let me give you a quick look at how that works out, what that looks like, and then we'll get back to the video. I'll start with about 12 ounces of cold water that I add 2 scoops of whey protein, bringing me to 50 grams of protein. And then I've got a natural peanut butter that's another 7 or so grams. And then creatine, NMN, MCT oil, and down the hatch. So this is a meal today that we're going to share. We're going to do 4 cans of light tuna from water, and that's going to be 46 grams of protein. There's 23 to each can. And again, we're going to split it in 2. So she's going to cut up some celery and onions, and we're going to do the mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, some olive oil, and salt and pepper, and go ahead and split that into 2, and that'll be 46 grams of protein. Here's another quick and easy way to get some protein in. 1 scoop of this is 20 grams of protein. So I do 2 scoops in the morning, bring it to work with me, and I basically just sip it throughout the day. I make sure before I leave work at the end of the day, I've had that full bottle, whether I have to sit there and chug down the last little bit of it or not. I add some strawberry in there, sometimes peaches, just different flavors. Drinks very much like a Gatorade. It's just a nice, easy drink to kind of refresh, and it goes in my container and off to work. 3 eggs generally every day. Today I'm going to do them hard boiled. That's 18 grams of protein. I'll get about 17 grams of protein in the Greek yogurt and then some fresh blueberries on top of that. And then finally, 46 grams of protein in a steak. Get me to my goal and over at about 224. And that's what keeps me lean and strong throughout the year. So if you want to get down to 120 pounds, then you need to get roughly 120 grams of protein for the day. It's an easy number to remember, and it helps prevent protein from becoming an afterthought. But it is not a universal prescription either. Your doctor or your dietitian may recommend a different target based on your size, your age, your activity level, your kidney health. So if you're not hungry, and you won't be, that's the whole point of these drugs. That's what protein shakes are for. The point isn't the brand. The point is that you hit your number. The second piece of the puzzle is going to be movement. Protein's going to give your body the building material, but resistance training gives your body a clear message. Keep this muscle. We still need it. At least twice a week, work the major movement patterns: push, pull, squat, leg press, hinge and carry. Machines are perfectly fine. The goal here is not to punish yourself. The goal is to make your muscles produce force consistently. You're basically telling your body you haven't quit yet. You are still in the game. You have to send your body that message. Give it adequate protein. Give your muscles resistance at least twice a week. These medications can be a genuinely valuable tool, but the medication really only has one assignment: help reduce your weight and improve your health. It doesn't know that you want to keep playing with your grandchildren or get that carry-on into the overhead compartment. You have to send your body that message, and pay attention not just to what your scale says, but to what your body feels like it can do. Because the goal isn't simply to become lighter. The goal is to lose the weight without losing yourself along with it. So I made another video that gives you the broader GLP-1 plan with protein and training and hydration and all the other pieces that matter after 50. I'm going to put that on the screen now, and I'll link it down below. That's all for today, guys. Have a blessed day. See you next week.